O King Parikshit, the transcendental activities of Lord Ramachandra have been described by great saintly persons who have seen the truth. Because you have heard again and again about Lord Ramachandra, the husband of Mother Sita, I shall describe these activities only in brief. Please listen. Purport. Modern Rakshasas posing as educationally advanced merely because they have doctorates have tried to prove that Lord Ramachandra is not the supreme personality of Godhead, but an ordinary person. But those who are learned and spiritually advanced will never accept such notions. They will accept the descriptions of Lord Ramachandra and his activities only as presented by Tattvadarshis, those who know the absolute truth. In Bhagavad Gita 4:34, the Supreme Personality of Godhead advises, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadakshanti te gnanam gnanaistatvadarshina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Unless one is Tattvadarshi, in complete knowledge of the absolute truth, one cannot describe the activities of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, although there are many so called Ramayanas or histories of Lord Ramachandra's activities, some of them are not actually authoritative. Sometimes Lord Ramachandra's activities are described in terms of one's own imagination, speculations, or material sentiments. But the characteristic of Lord Ramachandra should not be handled as something imaginary. While describing the history of Lord Ramachandra, Sukadeva Goswami told Maharaj Parikshit, you have already heard about the activities of Lord Ramachandra. Apparently, therefore, 5,000 years ago, there were many Ramayanas or histories of Lord Ramachandra's activities, and there are many still. But we must select only those books written by Tattvadarshis, Jnanais Tattvadarshina, not the books of so-called scholars who claim knowledge only on the basis of a doctorate. This is a warning by Sukadeva Goswami. Rishibhis Tattvadarshibhi. Although the Ramayana composed by Valmiki is a huge literature, the same activities are summarized here by Sukadeva Goswami in a few verses. Tasyanucharitam rajan rishibhistatvadarshibhi Shrutam hi varnitam bhuri tvaya sita patirmuna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaturan Vilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarini Vancha Kalpatarubhesya Krupa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Rama Rama Hare Hare. Would like to invite everyone for the 21st April 2024 Sunday Feast class. I was actually kind of meditating how I can start the Sri Rama Navami class. I was reading trying to summarize all the Vedas, find out what it is written about Sri Lord Ramachandra. And interestingly, after checking after fifth Veda, our Google Purana, I found out so many interesting facts that relate to current day modern incidents which are really related to Lord Rama. Um, Actually, there are about 57 million Lord Rama names throughout the world. That means almost like how many times? 8, 9 times more population than Denmark. Somehow it's connected somewhere. So imagine if everyone has a Rama name somewhere in Denmark, how we can call them? Rama Nilsson, Ram Christiansen. Actually, there are also a lot of Lord Rama names related to the villages, even in India. There are about 4,000 village and towns names in India. I remember when I was 9 years old boy, I was living in a town called Sri Rampur. The village specifically is famous for Lord Rama's deity. Our street name also Ram Nagar. And oftentimes my brother, he would, those days, about 25, 30 years back, we used to have a post letter, simply one piece of letter where you write the sender and the receiver. On the back side, you can see completely the transcendental piece of paper. Anyone can read what is there. My brother would write the sender address and the receiver address and the sender address. He usually have to write the sender address. So he would write like Sri Rampur village and Sri Ram Nagar village street name, and then in front of we used to have a kind of somewhere related to Ram, a medical shop. It's a whole history. He write half of the novel and only on the address and sender and receiver parts. And my brother name is Raghuram. So that's a little funny part. But throughout the history, many civilizations has somehow they are connected to Lord Rama. And if you see the history of India, it used to be completely one continent. So that was partitioned later on. Even the kings from Thailand, and they claim actually they are the descendants of Lord Rama. Actually, it says, Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. He says, Krishna is the source of all the incarnations. Krishna is the source of everything. So there is no superior thing behind Krishna. But this Krishna, when he was in Dwaraka, he was actually listening to Sri Rama Katha every afternoon. So that is the beauty of Ram Katha. So even there was a thing in India, the most viewed TV serial was Ramayana. I just want to briefly summarize the importance of name. When we were small children, every Sunday comes between, if I remember correctly, 9 to 10 o'clock. You don't see anyone in the streets. You don't see anyone. Practically all the streets are empty. And you can hear, if you're walking the lines, you can see same rhythm, it will go all the way to the streets. And whomever has the television, those days they are celebrities only on Sundays. Because everyone would come, they will make a special reservation for the seats. So this is the Ram, very insignificant. And so that means like Ram name is significant and Ram has a potency. That doesn't mean we should follow the Lord Ram. No. There are some specifications in the Shastras. Lord Shiva tells his wife after reciting the Vishnu Sahasranamam, he says, whomever hear the Rama, just say Rama. That means even by pronouncing the 2 syllables of Rama, then they don't need to recite the whole Ramayanam. Everything is there in the 2 syllables of Rama. But Srila Prabhupada also says many times in his commentaries, this Rama can be anything. This Rama can be a Parshurama. This Rama can be a Balram. This Rama can be a Nityananda Ram. But even further behind, Jiva Goswami is one of our greatest scholar. in Acharya. Many books written by Jiva Goswami are very authenticated in our Sampradaya. So he goes even further. He says, Rama can be Krishna. How is that possible? He says, Ra Kara means Radharani. Ma Kara means, can anyone guess? Madhusudana. So he gave a different meaning of Rama. So even Srila Prabhupada giving one of his classes, those sages, great sages in Dandakaranya, those sages, they are not attached to anything in this world. They practically renounced. But if that sages attached to something, they attach to Lord Rama. It's even also it says, Ramante, Yogante, Anante. People, those who are attached nothing, they attach to Rama. That is the potency of Lord Rama. Such a beautiful word. By saying Rama, one can completely actually recite the Ramayana according to Shastras. But unfortunately, people in the modern world hear Ramayana at different intentions. We have all different motivations to do something. Otherwise, we cannot really come to the point of spirituality. If usually olden days, people who doesn't have a children, especially a son, they always prefers to recite, can anyone guess? Balakanda. Balakanda is something like it's all talks about Lord Rama. So if someone here to Balakanda, that means, they will get a boy like Rama. If someone wants to get great victory, victory over enemies, victory over their opponents in the business, victory over their other people, so they always recite the Yuddhakanda. So if somebody wants to have a material opulences, wealth, fame, all kind of things, they would always prefer Sundarakanda. Sundarakanda is something, thank you so much, Prabhu. Sundarakanda is something, people, if you go to any villages and towns in India, every day they would recite Sundarakanda. People say, where are you going? Before the modern technologies and all the telephones, all the new technologies came, people would go to temple after came back from work, and they would go to temple. What they are doing, they actually always says, we are listening to Sundarakanda. People have different motivations, to have some kind of gain. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yataman prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham mama Vartaman vartante manusya pardha sarvasyaha. People has different motivations, but if somebody surrenders according to their level of surrender, actually Krishna says, I reciprocate them accordingly. Without our endeavor, we cannot be actually approach Krishna. So there is a beautiful story once one sannyasi was saying, and then which gave me a little inspiration to talk. There was one poor man in India. It's difficult to understand what is meant by poor in the Western world. People in India, poor man means they have a very high intellectuality, and they sometimes talk so much philosophy, high philosophy, in order to survive. So this poor man went to a rich man in the village. And after looking at this rich man, he says, my dear sir, you have such a wonderful dhoti and kurta and nice tilak. And this rich man actually is saying with his high volume to his wife, my dear wife, you see, in the almara in our bedroom, there is a nice necklace lying there. Please bring it. And this poor man was really happy. And he's thinking, he's going to get something. And then he wanted to get more, even more. So he said, my dear sir, you have a wonderful garden in your courtyard. So nobody has in our whole town, very jealous of your garden. How can you managing this garden? It's so beautiful garden. And this rich man says, my dear wife, Please also bring that piece of, the currency bundle is there next to the, what is the necklace. Please bring that too. And time passes. And there is nothing happening. And this poor man slowly started murmuring, what happened to that necklace? What happened to that money? This is a rich man saying, how did you please me? You please me by words. And how did I please you? The same way. So this is how it works when we approach the God with the intentions. Naturally, we have some desires, material desires. We have to come across those desires. So, but we should not even stop there. So Srimad Bhagavatam talks about this whole human life is meant for spiritual realization. What is that? Life is a preparation, death is an examination. And when we were children, we were going to examination, in the whole year we were spending time outside like without doing anything. And the exams comes, we would simply sit like day and night for preparing the examination. That was our childhood, from kids from 1990s. So it cannot be possible in the spiritual life. You cannot remember Krishna at the time of death. There, Vidura in Srimad Bhagavatam, he tells to his uncle, his brother. He says, Andapuraiva vadiro manda prajnacha sampratapam visirina danta mandagni saraga kafam udvahan. He says, my dear brother, you are blind from your birth. You cannot see anything. You are also spiritually blind. And then recently, your hearing aid also became completely disabled. You cannot hear what the people are saying. And then your teeth, dental, also fall down. They should actually give us transcendental to this knowledge. And then he says, your digestion power also decreased. And you are simply hanging at your children, your brother children home, simply gaining something. Get up, go and get something out of, your age. You are already old. And usually in the Western countries, especially, it's very difficult to somebody to say that you are old. They feel like really offensive. I'm saying after living in the Scandinavia after 20 years. So even if you say to the people, you are becoming old, you should be self-realized. A few years back, one of my supervisor was telling me, you are so young, how can you become so spiritually inclined even now? You should be thinking about spiritual life when you are becoming old. Seems like this knowledge is like very unique in everywhere, even in India, here, everywhere. People say spirituality is something when you are becoming old. Nobody wants to talk about, spirituality. Something gives us enlightenment. Actually, what is that? I never seen anyone in this 20 years like some dead bodies lying and going outside streets. It's very, very, very impeccable. Nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to even break about the bad news even here. It says like even everywhere. It says, this so-and-so gentleman at the age of 85, surrounded by all his family members, he just left the body peacefully. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, when the time of leaving the body, the pain is so difficult. It says like 4,000 scorpions biting at a time. I don't know whether anyone of you have a experience of biting a scorpion. One time my mother had a scorpion biting. It's a simple one biting. Even people die out of scorpion bitings. The pain itself so intolerable. Then imagine like 4,000 scorpions biting at a time. So nobody wants to talk about the spiritual, what is that, death and all the spiritual things. But we Hare Krishnas, we are so strong. We are even dream in the life we are going through, and we will dream even behind life. We dare to dream even after death. So welcome to Hare Krishna. So let us start with the real story of Ramayana. Once there was a person called Ratnakar. He was brought up by a family of hunters. He actually has an attitude of eating the animals when they are half alive. By looking at this, Narada Muni got so much pity and compassion for the poor animals. And then he approached this Ratnakar and said, "My dear Ratnakar, how can you kill such animals when they are half alive?" He said, "It's a part of my profession, my job." And then he gave this man initiation. And then he started telling the Rama. Imagine, he gone through such a situation, this Ratnakar, he cannot even able to pronounce such a simple word, Rama. If anyone have a question, how is that possible? How can you not chant even name of the Lord Rama? Please come to Hare Krishna temple morning 5 o'clock. You can hear different melodies of Rama. So then Narada Muni, he gave the name, say, you pronounce Mara. It's like somebody, in Sanskrit, it's a beautiful thing. If somebody is a killer, his name is Marak. And he says, just cut down the last word and he say, you pronounce Mara. And then you slowly started, pronouncing, you can get the Rama. You see, Mara, 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 Mara. It came up as Rama instead of something else. So he was started pronouncing. And one time Lokanath Swamara says in his lecture, I'm always doubtful. Half of the devotees, either they go to Sarpaloka, where the the snake planet, or they go to Krishna Loka. Where I noticed one time in Vrindavan, devotees were chanting, it's like I got confused, are we, even Krishna get confused, whether these guys are chanting Hare Krishna mantra or something else. So then by pronouncing Lord Rama name, he became a Valmiki. He got initiation. He became a Valmiki. Later on, after some time, Narada Muni passed by, and we looked at it. When Narada Muni is coming up, and this Valmiki coming such a way, even he passing the way, even he doesn't like to harm the ants. And Narada Muni got so much happy, what such a transformation. By such a transformation, by just pronouncing the Lord Rama name. So then he gave the nice place to sit down. And then Narada Muni has a nice time having association with the Valmiki Muni. It says, when a sage comes a Vaishnava comes to our house, we should offer 4 things: a garland, a place to sit, just a glass of water, at least something to eat, a glass of water. Narada Muni asked 16 qualities of Lord Rama. And actually, Valmiki asked 16 qualities of Lord Rama. And Narada Muni described 65 qualities of Lord Rama. He started telling actually, is there any person actually having 65 qualities still alive? Narada Muni started describing about Lord Rama. And basically, Ramayana is about 7 parts. It starts about Balakanda, start about Ayodhya Kanda, and then Aranya Kanda, and Kishkinda Kanda, and Yuddha Kanda, and at the last Uttara Kanda. I will briefly summarize about these Kandas. In Balakanda, there is nothing much about Lord Rama. When he was a small boy, he was simply playing around and doing some small things here and there. There is nothing much about Balakanda. But when he's grown up, little in Ayodhya Kanda, he got training from the Vasishtha Muni, is their own Rajaguru. And then he was also trained by Vishwamitra Maharshi. Vishwamitra Maharshi took them to his courtyard, his yajna place, where he was harassed by many demons. And that's how he started singing. Vishwamitra Muni started singing. Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate Uttishta narashardulam kartavyam daivamanvitam. My dear Lama, get up. Now it's the time to kill so many demons. You are such an ideal person. You should be ideal to everyone in this planetary system. And that song became like, if you go to Tirupati in South India, you can hear every single day in the temple. In Tirupati Devasthanam, they play this song every day morning. So then he killed so many demons in the Ayodhya Kanda. And he got married also in Ayodhya, same part of the Ayodhya Kanda. And when it's come to time, he was unfortunately got banished to the forest by his Kaikeyi because she had two boons where she selected her son Bharata has to be a king, and then Rama has to send the same time to the forest. And Rama was passing to the forest. First, he was helped by a sage called Guha, a boatman. He was taking Lord Rama all the way to the Chitrakoot. And in the Chitrakoot, Rama is having, he killed actually so many demons in the Chitrakoot. But slowly, what is happening? Rama was he was visited by many sages in Chitrakoot that he didn't like. So he wants to move further away from Chitrakoot. He went to Dandakaranya, where he encountered different pastimes, especially in Nasik. He was obviously all the people know about Ramayana. He was Ravana's sister, Shurpanaka, she got attracted by Lord Rama's beauty, and she wanted to enjoy the Lord. But it didn't happen. Ultimately, Lakshmana, his brother, has to cut down his nose. That was the first nose surgery operation. I was reading few months back. It's almost like 10 billion industry nose reparation operation, and the Lord Lakshmana did it effortlessly with the piece of arrow. So in the same Dandakaranya, Lord Rama also killed a demon called Marichi. He simply by one shot of arrow, he sent Marichi to all the way 800 miles actually away from India. And exactly, if you see the distance between India and Mauritius, it's the same difference. This Marichi went to an island called Marichi, and later on it became like a Mauritius. So that was the first rocket launching. People talk about rocket launching between different countries, but that was it. So after Rama spending so many years in Dandakaranya, when Surpanaka got attracted by Rama, and then she ultimately went to her brother Ravana and started complaining, saying like, "Oh, my brother, I saw such a wonderful lady, Sita, and I think she is a very perfect match for you." Instead of telling what she has done, she is trying to convince that you should get married to Sita. And Lord, what is his name? Ravana got love at first sight without even seeing Sita. And then ultimately he came to Dandakaranya, and then he kidnapped Mother Sita and took away to Sri Lanka. This place exactly called Nasik. It is a beautiful, amazing thing. One can see actually the places and related and history of every places in India related to Rama. This place is Nasik. Nasik is something like related to nose. So then Lord Rama has to go to get back his wife, and he took the help from Sugriva. Sugriva helped him to find Mother Sita by the help of Hanuman. Everyone actually collectively fought with Ravana and then bring back Sita to Ayodhya. And this is the actually nutshell of Sri Ramayanam. And I would like to summarize actually what is the characteristic of Rama. There are 6 principal characters of Rama. One can say Rama is Gunavan. Gunavan is someone who has a full of character. When he was about to become a king, and his stepmother, his mother, Kaikeyi, wants to send him to forest. Simply, he banished to forest for 14 years. And imagine if anyone is in that situation, they would really get offended. They would really want to take the revenge. But Rama immediately next day, right after he was going to forest, he was taking the blessings from Kaikeyi, the same person who actually cursed him to go to forest. That is the characteristic, Gunavan characteristic. And he is a Viryavan. When he was in forest, he killed so many demons effortlessly. It says, Ramayana says he killed almost like 16,000 demons in the whole Dandakaranya and Chitrakoot. So he is full of power. He is a Viryavan. And then he is also Dharmagnya, true religion of personality. He is actually a perfect son, perfect brother, perfect husband, perfect disciple. There is no one in this planetary system as much as the true religion, true dharmagnya, the real principles of religion. And he is also a krutagnataha. Krutagnataha means thankful. Nowadays, if we want to get some help from our friends, we have to remind them, my dear Prabhu, can you remember I did something to you last year? But before we are asking any help, Lord Rama, he was so thankful to even small thing. When he was constructing a bridge between India and Sri Lanka in order to fetch Sita back to Ayodhya, there was a little squirrel helping Lord Rama to construct his bridge. And Hanuman was shouting, hey, get up from here, go away from here, otherwise you'll crushed to die. But Lord Rama, he was really stopping that. He says, it's whatever capacity you have, whatever level of service you are doing to me, the same level of service is doing the same thing by little squirrel. So there is no difference between you and him. So another thing is, he is also truthful. Lord Rama never say lie to anyone in his whole lifetime. And then last thing is dharmagnya, drudavrataha. One time Vibhishan was the brother of Ravana. He actually became a devotee of Lord Rama. And then what happened, he convinced Lord Rama is Shri Gaunitai ki. He convinced Rama is the supreme personality of Godhead. So he printed Lord Rama name everywhere in his place, in Sri Lanka, in the place where he was staying. Ravana got really offended. How can you write my enemy name? He says very intellectually, Ra means Ravana, Ma means Mandodari, his wife. So this is how it says, like, one Acharya says, this is how the devotees should preach wherever they are, time, place, circumstances. So let us chant one time Lord Rama name again. Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram Bhagavan ki.